Hey everyone, welcome back. Here's part 2 of 2024 deer season. It's Friday, November 8th. We're just heading down in to check one of my baits. My other cameras are all dead on my other two baits, which kind of sucks. I had one down in Fundy and then had another one towards Sussex. Yeah, that's a good sign. That was made within the last few days. There's 130 something pictures on the camera, so I mean, at least for that, there's 2 bags of apples down and there's just a little bit that's left, so. I haven't had any deer here for a long time. It's been all bears. My buddy Brandon got lucky yesterday going to work, working up the 126, pulled into the road we're working on, and 10 o'clock in the morning, lo and behold, 13 point standing in the middle of a clear cut. It ran over to the edge of the woods. He was able to get around in the gun and jumped out of the truck there and got around in the gun and shot it. Drop right there, beautiful buck. Working in the woods, I mean, we've got a good advantage most times. Most times you don't see anything worth shooting out driving around like that, but I guess just got to be in the right place at the right time. Couple nice scrapes right where I hung the tree. It's Saturday, November 16th. It's a pretty soggy day, but it's supposed to stop after lunch. That was crazy. Not even paying attention. And there was a doe that just ran by right here. Heard like a little snap. and Sunday. Let's say my wind was switching from a north to a northwest last night. And that doe and fawn that come in before dark smell me when they get down to about my 45. It's so annoying. My truck's parked up there and you got these two guys walking down in here coughing and going. It's like, do people see other people hunting so they have to go check it out and hunt themselves or what? There they are. I'm gonna have to get down and go talk to them. If people would just find their own spots. You see a truck parked, go at least a kilometer away and park somewhere else. It's ridiculous. Then when they go to leave, they play a coyote call. Like, good job there, you guys. It's the second nice scrape I've found here in the last 50 yards. That buck's in here tearing it up because he made 2 other new ones over on the other side last night. So we'll see. Hopefully things are going to line up here eventually. See another one. It is just tore up everywhere in here. Some deer shit in that one. That one's pretty fresh. It's a pretty good track right there. And another one. That one looks really fresh. Like last night fresh. Look at that. There's hardly a leaf or a needle in it. And there goes the fawn right there, I believe. Yeah. Okay, that's the fawn. She's right underneath my stand right now. Well, it's November 21st. It's another soggy day, of course. We've got a northeast wind, so it kind of works okay. It's very iffy, but I think it's okay. Ended up having to move my stand over probably a good 60, 70 yards to the other side of the brook. The wind was blowing more out of the north. It was just getting a little bit too iffy. I didn't want to risk it, so I went up and got changed. I got soaked. Should have had my rain gear on to begin with, but it was about 1:30. And just as I got to the truck, of course, I see a tail go. No idea what it was. I always like to head in at daylight because you never know what you're going to see. And there's a doe standing here just as still as a statue looking at me. Too bad her boyfriend wasn't around. That's a good sign though, the deer are moving before we get all this rain. That was absolutely insane. I've been seeing deer all the way in the road. And there he is, chasing a doe across the cut. He's about 300 yards away. So I'm going in to check the tracks, and I know where they went. I just went and I looped way down around the piece of woods to see if they come out across another cut, but they didn't. So now I'm back up around so I don't blow it out. And I'm just going to work down in with the wind and see what his tracks and stuff look like here. There's his tracks right there. Caved in a little bit, but I think they're a pretty good size. Dug right down in. Put my hand beside it. I mean, it's a good size. I don't know if it's at 7 or not. Either way, I gotta go put my boots on now. I was gonna sit for a while, but I'm gonna put my boots on and we're gonna follow them all day long. You can tell this is the trail they went in because all the leaves and everything's all turned up. You can kind of see where they ran in. Anyway, this leads down in that way, and I think I'm gonna loop around because the wind's blowing like this. I'm gonna loop down in, sit down in there on a trail and call a little bit because there's only a few spots they really travel here. I do have a camera down here, but these are fresh scrapes, like really fresh, because the rain hasn't even really beat them out yet. They're just small, but so this old road will take me down in quite a ways, and it's easy walking it. I shot my buck last year up here where my camera is, so we're just gonna go down through here. The wind is blowing from my left to my right, and we'll just grunt as we go down through here real slow. There's 7 scrapes in 25 yards, if that makes any sense. There's a dog just come in. I see him down the trail, but I can't do anything. He has me completely pinned. She just came into that grunt. I see her, she just moved up. She's flicking her tail a bunch. She's down there flicking her tail a bunch. Right down there, but I don't know if the buck is with her or not. I was standing and I just crouched down. She's just standing there, I can see her. She's down in there. I don't know if I should stand up and look or what. I see her ears again. I'm gonna try and scoot over. Alright. It was definitely 2 dogs. They were starting to come across the cut and they see me stand up and blew. But I grunted at them right away and they slowed down. And then they're looking like they're coming back this way again. So I'm just gonna hunker down behind this bush for the next 20 minutes here and we're gonna see what happens. Look at that scrape. It's not big, but something definitely pawed at it this morning. I mean, it's a decent deer. So I'd say he's just hanging out right here today. He's got 2 or 3 does with him. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if there's another buck with him too. There's a track of that doe where she turned around. Almost looks like a fawn track actually. This is right where I shot my buck last year. They're using this trail a bunch still. Until it was all wrapped up last year. Got that one shredded. Got that one shredded. That's cool. My camera's still down here on the tree. Right there. So hopefully we get some pictures. So I was just coming in through that trail that I shot my deer on last year. Sneaking along with the wind, being nice and quiet. I look off in the distance up the trail, and I see a tail flick. Scope checking it. As I'm doing that, something catches the corner of my eye. 7 point I was after. Stands there. Made eye contact. He bolted. I fired. Hit a tree. And that was it. He was gone. Unbelievable. I just can't catch a break. This is gonna be the best and worst day I've ever had. So I've hung out here for an hour where I was just made eye contact with him and I grunted at him when he left. And I was just kind of walking around checking it out. Just looking. And then here I was. Walked up the trail not even 50 yards from where I was face to face with him. And I was just sitting here looking around. Looking at the ground, looking at tracks. And then I look behind me, or like over to the side. And it's like, you don't believe what you're seeing. So you kind of do like a double take. And there was a giant buck. I think it was a different one than what I seen earlier. Like, I mean giant, like giant. Again, only 35, maybe 40 yards away. It's so thick in here. I spun. I fired as he was going. I don't think I hit him. It's so thick. This is so ridiculous. God damn it, that answers the first shot. That's the second shot I fired. That's remnants from the first shot. You can see it's right there. So I clearly never even touched him. Clearly I'm gonna have to sit here for the rest of the day. That's just so crazy. I've had basically two for sure, bucks served me on a platter this morning. And I had to hit a tree. He went blowing all down through the woods. So I doubt he'll be back. If I could get one that would just stand still for 2 seconds. These running shots in the woods are hard. Anyway, there must be a hot doe in here or something's going on. Or it's a really good travel corridor because never in my life have I ever been that close to 2 giant deer. We're off to kind of a good start. There's 4 deer here. I don't see any antlers. Damn it, they're gonna come right back on my trail. Okay. This is not quite what I had planned, but Saturday, November 23rd. I got my ground blind set up ready for this big rain. Seen those 4 does coming in. It's not raining too bad, so I might take a walk down into that trail I was in yesterday with those bucks. Alright. It's November 24th. It's the last day of New Brunswick rifle season of 2024. Another rainy day. Looks like something was at my beat last night. 6 pictures. Anyway, we're just going to go down through and we're going to cross through a bunch of bedding areas, and travel corridors, and bust all through there and get soaking wet. That's the plan for the day. I had a mock scrape right here last year, and now they didn't maintain it. There's still a good rub in here. That's what made me do the mock scrape last year, is that he hits that tree, or this tree here, every year. I'm guessing it's probably one of the ones I'm after. I'm half tempted just to sit down on the side of the bank here. It's a pretty steep bank. Snort wheezes here and see, just to get things started. It's a really cool spot in here. There's a lot of little brooks that come and funnel into a river. There's a lot of steep banks. And if there's not too much water flowing in them, the deer are traveling up them. So, I've scouted this a bunch of times years and years ago. I've never actually had the opportunity to come in and hunt it during rifle season. And there's year after year after year. There's a scrape up there. Right up there. There's like a little open area. I'll take a video when I get up there, but as I was getting up to it, I 100% heard a buck run down at the brook. So, we're at the river. So I just grunted and snort wheezed. We're just gonna sit here for a little bit and see. The wind's swirling really bad, so I don't know if I want to spend much time in here though. But it's always been a cool spot. I know the deer use it a lot. There's this big scrape. It's here every year. behind my head. It's too bad that it's raining so much. I can't get much on camera in the last few days. Anyway, wherever you find owls, you find big bucks. The forest security alarm going off. I think I might have jumped something, I don't know. I'm making too much noise because I'm coming through this stuff and it's all like waist high. Anyway, I heard a good crack down in the woods. I don't think it was anything but an animal. They're crossing this little stream pretty good right here. There's all kinds of good trails in here, but I'm just trying to work the east side of it. Because I'm thinking that a buck would want to go on the east side so they can scent check everything on a northwest wind. Makes sense to me. I come in from the south. Now I'm just working up through. It's worth a try. It's still raining. I'm completely soaked. I don't know if I'll get the whole day out of it or not. A lot of cool areas in through here. You can see a deer almost anywhere. I keep coming to a lot of fresh droppings. Well, that's all she wrote for me. Covered a lot of ground today. Didn't even see a deer, didn't have a deer blow. Can't believe it. I thought I might have jumped something. So I heard a pretty good crack, so that's possible, but whew. I had my chance Friday, and usually in New Brunswick, if you're chasing big deer, you're lucky to get one chance, and you're extremely lucky to get two. And I almost kind of had 2.5, 3 chances, so. Well, there you have it. The season went pretty good. I mean, just because I don't shoot something doesn't mean I had a bad season. I had a lot of plans come together. There was a couple deer that never did show up, but I got a couple other surprise deer in a few spots. So all in all, it was a good season. I'm going to have to probably practice a little more on my jump shooting like that because, man, for a while, like for a week or so after, every time I closed my eyes, that's all I could picture was just that deer standing there looking at me. And I really should have had the first one. I really should have. But in the heat of the moment, him running, me shooting, trees all around. That's why it's hunting, I guess. Another thing I'll talk about too is those guys I approached back in, I don't know if it was the beginning of November. I actually seen him again the day after and talked to him again, and I asked him, what are we doing here? And I don't know. He says that he's just hunting from the road and looking around, but I mean, at the end of the day, why are you hunting on top of somebody else when there's thousands of acres to hunt? Like, come on. Just drives me crazy. Go find your own spot. That's all. Anyway, Brandon was the only one of my friends that shot a deer other than Matt. Everybody had some opportunities and everything just didn't quite line up. So it is what it is, and we're just gonna hunt a little harder. I've got some awesome plans for next year. I can't wait already. I'm gonna probably have to get another stand. Not a huge fan of hunting out of the ground blinds. Your view is so restricted. Like there on that last Saturday of the season, 23rd, I think it was. Yeah, it was nice to be in the woods and it was raining and stuff. And I mean, there's always that chance of something walking by, but it really sucks hunting from a ground blind. I can't compare that. And the last few years too, even hunting over bait has not been that great. Yeah, it's always good early season, like early bow or the last week of rifle and now muzzleloader. That's something else I'm gonna have to get as a muzzleloader because the buck that I missed was actually at my bait during muzzleloader season. So half expected that to happen. So anyway, he's just gonna be bigger next year. Like I say, I'll have to get a muzzleloader. I've got some great plans that I'm gonna figure some stuff out a little bit better here, and that's all there is. I hope everybody else had a good season. See you on the next video. If you like what you see here, just give us a little subscribe
and that way you can stay up to date to all the videos and what we're doing.